You can all be seated, please. All right. Good morning. My name is Eric Zheng. I'm the president of ANCHAN Shanghai. And welcome to We for She, ANCHAN Shanghai's annual conference on businesswomen in leadership. Diversity and inclusion are values that American companies embrace, whether they are at home or abroad. This is why ANCHAN Shanghai's We for She conference has become one of our signature events. Today, we're very fortunate to have a very special guest to join our conference. U.S. Secretary Commerce Gina Raimondo is on a 4-day visit to China. She has just concluded a very productive visit to Beijing. We're very pleased that as a result of her efforts, the U.S.-Chinese governments have agreed to establish new communication channels to maintain regular and high-level communication dialogues on commercial issues. We hope that such communications will help improve bilateral commercial relationship that will benefit both countries and at the same time help address matters of concern for both sides. ANCHAN Shanghai stands ready to contribute to such constructive dialogues. As you know, Secretary Raimondo has always been a strong believer and a supporter of diversity and inclusion. She herself is a foremost successful business executive, the first female governor of Rhode Island, and now a cabinet member of the U.S. government. We're very honored that she's taking time for her very tight schedule in Shanghai to join our conference today to highlight the importance of diversity and inclusion. In a fireside chat, Secretary Raimondo will be joined by Christine Lam, CEO of City China. As many of you know, Christine has been an active member of ANCHAN Shanghai for many years and has served as vice chair before of the chamber. And she and Secretary Raimondo will engage in a fireside chat on women in leadership and much more. Please join me in welcoming Secretary Raimondo and Christine onto the stage.
Shall we dive right into it?
Yes, good morning, everyone. It's fantastic to be here.
I understand that this is your first trip to China, so a very, very warm welcome. Well, Eric spoke about your spending a few days in Beijing. Maybe we can start by you sharing with us highlights from your trip in Beijing. And how do you think companies can contribute to fostering more positive relations between China and the U.S.?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for hosting me. It's my pleasure to be here. I'm joined by Ambassador Burns, who's doing a wonderful job here on the ground. And it's nice to see a few familiar faces. We saw you the other night at the party that the ambassador hosted, so it's fantastic. We have had very successful and productive couple of days here. I should say the Chinese government gave us a very gracious welcome. Made everybody available, met with the Premier, the Vice Premier, of course my counterpart, Minister Wang, and the overall message which I delivered and which seems to have been reciprocated is that we need to have more contact, more communication. In fact, we agreed to begin a commercial issues working group, an official channel of communication to meet several times a year, where we would put on the table challenges. And several times it was reiterated in our meetings at the highest level, even by the Premier, that we can begin the work of resolving challenges if we have a more regular communication. So I feel it's the beginning. We have to see if action follows the words, but I will leave this evening feeling that it was a very productive set of meetings.
Very good. What is your ask of U.S. companies and even non-U.S. companies that are operating in China? What can we do to contribute?
First of all, let me say thank you for sticking with it. I know it's been a rough few years. It's been with COVID and lockdowns. I'm the first Commerce Secretary to be on the ground in 5 years. So that says it all. So if you have felt lonely, I get that. But we're going to start to show up more and look to be supportive and have an open ear to your thoughts and concerns. The message is to continue to do what you're doing. I mean, the U.S. and China have a massive and consequential economic relationship, which is good for the world. It is good for China. It is good for America. And we want you here investing, growing, and, to the extent there are challenges, and I know they exist, stay in touch with us or the embassy so that we can, as I say, work through those challenges.
Very good. As Commerce Secretary, I understand that one of your biggest priorities is to get more women back into the workforce. What is the department doing about it, and also in terms of promoting diversity at the workplace?
Yes, so I'll say I'm thrilled to be able to be at this particular event. I think it's fantastic, and kudos to all of you who made it happen. We have a few things happening at the Department of Commerce. I've launched an initiative called 1 Million Women in Construction. In the United States, there are currently 1 million women who work in the construction industry, and I said, let's double that. Let's have another 1 million women in construction. Why? Because they're very well-paid jobs that women are very equipped to do. And now, because of President Biden's incredible leadership, we are creating a lot of construction jobs, laying fiber, building bridges, roads, new construction, manufacturing facilities. Currently, only like 7 or 8% of the building trades are women. Average $50, $60 an hour plus benefits. So let's get those jobs for women. So that is one thing. The other thing I'm leaning into is just more job training, equity in STEM training. One of my initiatives is investing in the CHIPS Act. We think we'll create a couple 100,000 semiconductor jobs in the United States in the coming years. Those jobs ought to go to men and women. And in order for women to be able to have those jobs, they have to be trained in science and technology. And so we're working with universities, high schools, community colleges to make sure that women have the skills they need to get high-paying jobs.
You spoke about training. I think that's very important, and investing in training for women. And why is it important? Not just because of the equity, the fairness aspects of it, not just because it's a good thing to do, but maybe because, why is it and how is it an imperative for a country, or even the world?
Yeah. If you show me a company where all the top executives and the board of directors look the same, then you're looking at a company that is not performing to the level that it could be. I have been an executive for almost 15 years, running large organizations. Every major mistake I've made, and they're too numerous to recount this morning, is because I haven't had a diverse enough group around me, and I had a blind spot. So I made a poor decision because I didn't have a perspective that I needed to make a better decision. So if you want to operate at the optimal level, you need to have diversity around you to make those decisions. I've had the opportunity to meet with so many people I've been on the ground, including some economists while I've been here. And it's true in China, it's true in America. Women do a lot of purchasing, a lot of the purchases. So if you want to understand purchasing patterns, you might as well listen to women. You might as well have women on your marketing team, on your sales team. So in any event, this isn't charity. This is about, do you want to run the best company that you can? If so, get the best people around you and make sure you have a diversity of viewpoints. And so I think that's part of why I do it. The other reason is, women deserve opportunity. Women sustain families and need to make a decent living to do that. And so that's another piece of why I'm so passionate about it.
I think we are all deep believers in diversity, gathering in this room. What do you think, sort of public sector, private sector collaboration, what do you think we can do a better job of? How do you think we can do a better job to ensure that, women leaders' voices are heard in decision making?
I think some of it is what I was saying, like create a pipeline as young as possible. Girls in 3rd, 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade, seeing themselves. Prior to this job, I was the governor of the state of Rhode Island. I was the first woman to hold that position. I was the 75th governor and the first woman. And I created something called a competition for girls in middle school in my state, called the Governor for a Day competition. The girls would write an essay. What would they do if they were the governor for a day? For girls who were like 10 years old to 13 years old. And then I would select the best essay, and that girl could spend the day with me. It was fantastic. Like 1,000 girls in my little state would write the essay. We would have a big event for all. I always say to them, the phrase, you can't be what you can't see. It's very true. Last week I was home in Rhode Island for my gubernatorial portrait unveiling. There's 121 portraits in the Rhode Island State House, 120 men and then me. So when the girls come to the State House for a tour, they just see a wall of men. How did you feel when you see that? You feel there's no place for me. So I think exposure is critical, training is critical, and starting really young.
Great advice for all of us. One last question, because I know we're running out of time. You were former business executive, and as you said, the first and the 75th female governor of Rhode Island, and now leadership position in the U.S. government. What are the lessons learned that you'd like to share with those of us who are looking at leadership positions or in leadership positions today?
Well, I guess for the women here, I would say just stay at it. If you think it's hard, it's because it is. It's not you. It is hard. Every day sometimes is hard. The obstacles are real. And you just have to keep going. I know my mother, who recently passed at 93, that was her life's motto. Just keep going, which sounds so simple, but it's really very true. Because it's easy to give up, it's easy to be discouraged, and you can't do that. You have to stay in it. Support one another. And those of you, such as yourself, who are in positions of leadership, who are running something, keep an eye on your best talent. All of it, men, women, keep an eye on your best talent. Look for opportunities. That is the thing that often holds women back. People don't say, hey, this is a great opportunity. Take this opportunity and go for it. So if you're in a position of leadership, look for your best talent, give them a chance, and then support them to be successful. Because I have decided that people just want a chance. They just want a chance. Just give me a chance to show what I've got, and they will rise to the occasion. The other thing that I would say along those lines is, for women in particular, take some risk. Don't be afraid to take risk. Bet on yourself. The same skills and abilities that got you here, that have you running Citibank China, are the skills and abilities that will get you through whatever that next challenge is. So have some confidence that you'll figure it out and take the risk. Because with risk, there's downside, I understand that. But I think sometimes too often, for whatever set of reasons, we don't take enough risk. And to get those big jobs, you have to be willing to take the risk and take a bet on yourself.
Secretary Raimondo, on behalf of AmCham and all of us, it's been a real honor and a real pleasure.
Thank you so much. I wish I could stay longer, but I'm so proud of all of you. I'm grateful for you to have me here, and best of luck in all that you're doing. Thank you.
So what an inspiring fireside chat with two remarkable leaders. My name is Jessica Wu. I'm the head of the Committee in Industry Relations at AmCham Shanghai. So while my colleagues are resetting the stage, so please allow me to give a bit introduction about today's conference. So today is our 8th annual We4She conference, which is organized by one of our industry committee called Women's Event Network. Actually, it's Xiaomei Li from Gensler. She's our WEN chair. Let's give a round of applause to Xiaomei for giving us a huge support for organizing the conference. So, AmCham has been working very hard to advocate having women in the senior leadership. So, in our today's board, so we have 3 female leaders, which occupy 30% of the leadership. So, we're still working hard, try to get more female on the board. In terms of our membership, so we actually have a 41% female members versus 59% for male. However, when we look at the data, for VP and presidents only occupy 24%. So everyone in this room should work hard to get more female executives in the room. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you, our sponsor for this conference, because without their support, we won't have this conference today. So they are collectors, Citibank.
原来好的益生菌真的可以帮助入睡。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌是国家认证 AB 克菲尔益生菌，含7种有身份证的专利活菌，能产生伽巴、色氨酸等助眠因子，难怪吃了更快入睡，也睡得更好。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌也是台湾市场上唯一添加克菲尔乳杆菌 M1 的产品。这是由台湾知名的大学季转，对季节敏感、调整体质的朋友真的是一大福音。还有这支还添加被称为超级食物的羽衣甘蓝萃取物，不少研究都指出十字花科蔬菜有助抗炎及防癌，像是羽衣甘蓝含有高量的叶黄素、贝塔胡萝卜素、维生素 K、维生素 C、叶酸等丰富营养素。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌专利制成，无塑化剂、无重金属、无人工添加物、无410项农药、无香料调味剂、无防腐剂、无色素，7大保证、7大认证，觉得好安心。每日克菲尔，时刻美好 ，Good Feel Feel Good， 快点购下单！太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌。